doing is I'm anchoring my hand. This is where I like to be the center point. So I like to have my index finger playing the 5th fret D, and that allows me to slap the bottom string, and then it allows me to, with my left hand fingers, to kind of flatten them out and get these muting techniques. That first one I was showing you basically 4 strokes. So in this position, I'm slapping with my right hand thumb, and you can slap anywhere you want, but I like doing it right around the 19th fret. So that's first 16th. Second 16th is the left hand just muting. Okay, third 16th is while that left hand is down and it's muted, right hand comes back as if I was slapping an open E string. So okay, fourth 16th depends on what I want to do. I can either go back to an open string. That's one of the things I'll do. So after I demonstrate that and show you some of these other variations, then I'll show you the basic Louis Johnson theme that I picked up from that old video. So that's the first one. And you can also, the way he did it originally was more like an 8th and then a double mute at the same time, and then so if you were writing it out, it would be an 8th and 2/16. But I ended up doing mostly 16th note syncopations involving separate left and right hand mutes. So that's one. Now the next one I use is my index finger just picking up a muted D. So you're getting that muted D just simply by holding that first finger and blocking it out. So instead of this, you get like that. Like that. That's another one. So that's the last 16th is the muted D instead of the open E. Then I like to drag my index finger across the top 3 strings if I want to get an E minor triad. That's another one I do. Like so. And the other one I do is like a little tap, ring finger on the body. Another one I do. Okay. So with that in mind, one of the themes, I'll play it with using the first variation with just the low slap. Okay, so I'm doing. So what's happening there is I'm moving down to G and A, hammering, moving up to A and D and A and B and hammering. So I've got it. There's a mute in between. You can hear that muted string as I'm shifting. And then 2 more mutes. So it's like that when you speed it up. Then what I do here, I go and grab that same D that I was anchoring on before, hook it with my right hand index finger so it gets real snappy, hit it once, and then hammer, and then hit it again. So it's 8th and a pair of 16ths, and I get the hammer with the baby finger onto the E. So it's, so we get. There's all sorts of fills in between that you can do, but that's like just a basic thing. Okay, so that's one. The other one he does on that original video is where he starts the bass crawl up lower, down on the F sharp instead of on the G. So it would go, I'm just thinking out loud here, but it would go, and then, so there's none of that in there. So it's just. The opening figure is still the same, muted, double mute, G to A hammer, double mute, and this one's kind of forgiving on your right hand because you don't have to claw the strings and really yank them or anything like that. So this one is. Putting the 2 together. So here's the first one. So I'm usually combining a lot of these different things when I'm doing it. Okay, so that's that. Now, the other things I'll add, besides what I talked about earlier, for instance, so if I were to play the 2 of them together, again, so let's say that's going to be the theme, the two different walk-ups, and put together just like that. Now, what I talked about doing earlier, if I'm doing this, or I'm doing this, or even a high harmonic, or a tap on the body, randomly put in anywhere. So let's say I did the one with the D mute. So now I'd have something like this. So now you hear I'm just starting to mix and match the two, just random. You know, I mean, you can sit there and practice. When I'm rehearsing, sometimes I'll just go over and over one or the other. Now, if I were to put in the tap with it, if I put in the chord strum.